All right, guys, let's jump right into this. In this video, I want to talk about building a non-negotiable life. What does that mean? Well, as it implies, non-negotiable means without debate, without wavering, without a council, without voters. These things are absolutely non-negotiable. They get done come hell or high water. So in the video, I've got 5 things, my 5 non-negotiables, that I think if you apply them to your life or some derivative of them, you will be better off. Your life will be enhanced. Now, they may not be exact, they may not fit you perfectly, but I think if you find your 5 non-negotiables, maybe 6, and you apply them to your life, you are going to have sort of, a better version of you. All right, guys. What is the number one rule when governments, maybe the FBI, maybe your local police force, whatever it is, what is their number one rule when dealing with terrorists? Well, it's very simple. There is no negotiating with terrorists. You may ask, why would you bring this up in a video about non-negotiables? Why are we talking about terrorism? Well, think of your mind, your brain, as a terrorist. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, your mind holds you hostage to what? Well, it holds you hostage to your inner weakness, to comfort, to sloth, procrastination, rationalizations, we can call those excuses, to excess, guys, to your hedonistic desires, to your dopamine addiction, and everything else that sort of is unknown. Your mind holds you hostage to fear. It tells you to stay in that warm bed, to hit snooze a few more times. It tells you can start tomorrow. Monday, January 1st. Well, here we are the second week of February, and most of those sort of resolutions have already gone on the wayside. It tells you that what you want to do is not right, that that's something that other people do, but not you. It whispers in your ear to watch one more episode on Netflix, that one more prawn video isn't going to hurt you. That escaping your reality, the reality you can't deal with, that you can't cope with alcohol, drugs, and all other manner of vice, is something that everybody else does. It is. But we don't want to be like everybody else. It loves when you scroll Instagram and TikTok for hours like a mindless junkie, seeking that next strip of dopamine. Your mind tells you that your fears, no matter how irrational they are, that they're real and they have foundation. The fear of making changes you know you need to make, but you simply can't pull the trigger on. All right, guys, so let me jump into the next thing. So now we talk about non-negotiables. This doesn't mean a morning routine. So I know the morning routines are sort of in vogue right now. That's sort of, everybody's got their own version of the morning routine. And I'm not saying these things are bad on the surface, but having a 19 bullet point checklist just to do, seems like an exercise in futility for me. You hear the guys, wake up at 3:45 a.m., dunk your face in ice water, run 5 miles, go in the sauna for 20 minutes, jump in a cold plunge, get some sun exposure, read the Bible, meditate, pray, journal for gratitude, go to the gym, drink a protein smoothie, but make sure it has collagen, wheatgrass, probably some creatine, and don't forget the zebra teeth extract. I'm joking. Then shower, moisturize your skin, get dressed, and finally, get to work. Now, be sure that all this gets done, guys, by 8 a.m. If not, well, of course, you're not productive. And keep doing this every single day. For how long? Well, forever. You don't get to quit. And if you do these things every single day, you will be successful. You will be wealthy. You will be important. And more critically, guys, you will be a high-value man. Look, I'm not saying, as I just said, that having a routine and having systems and processes in place is a bad thing. But doing these tasks just to check them off a list under the guise of sort of productivity, again, seems to me to be a bit of unending fuckery. It's just kind of a waste of time. Taken at their own, face value and on their own merit, these might actually help your life. Maybe not all of them, maybe some of them. Maybe doing them not every day, but maybe other day. It's going to help you get to where you want to be, help you reach your goals. But let's keep our eyes on the prize, guys, the big picture here. So instead of doing these small things of 19 things, let's break it down into some non-negotiables. So what are non-negotiables? We started the video with that. Well, as I said, these are the core things, maybe 5, probably, that's probably plenty, that we need to be doing every single day without wavering. So this is the shit that absolutely, positively, under no circumstances that I skip. Come hell or high water, as I said in the beginning, these get done. We can't use excuses, guys. We can't rationalize away why we didn't have time or, we just didn't get them done. Remember, there is zero negotiating with terrorists. None. That's why this list needs to be concise and as minimal as possible, guys. These are the things that move the needle in your life, and you know what those things are. So what we want to do is double down on those things and then eliminate the crap that's just a time waster, just another box on a list, or just some bullshit hack you saw trending on social media. So without further ado, let me get right into it as I rub my eye because my contact is driving me nuts. So, as I said, my list may differ slightly than yours, but here are what I believe everybody should have on their list, again, or maybe some derivative of that. So, number 1, guys, and this is critical, daily physical activity. And it doesn't, guys, I'm not even going to tell you what you need to do because, I think you know what you need to do, but this can be anything from going to the gym and lifting, running, CrossFit. Yes, do some CrossFit. Just don't tell me about CrossFit, please. Yoga, stretching, cycling, swimming, whatever, guys. The key thing here is to keep your body moving every single day. Again, I won't get too deep. I won't delve into the science, that how much, exercise helps you both physically and mentally. I think that's well documented. But the fact of the matter is you must be move every single day. It's absolutely essential. It is a non-negotiable, guys. This can't be skipped, and it needs to be on everybody's list, and it probably needs to be number 1. All right, guys, throw a little bonus here on this. Walk. Yeah, I know. As humans, we have to tell people to walk. We wear fucking things on our wrists to tell us to walk. Don't even get me started on that. But walk more, guys. When you can avoid the car ride, walk. When you can take the stairs, take the stairs. Guys, walking is literally the cheat code to losing weight and burning up calories. Just walk more. Don't wear something on your wrist that told you got your 10,000 steps. Don't be that dope. But just walk more. I can't, I'm not going to go any further than that. Just walk more. All right, guys. Number two, and you guys are going to give me some pushback on this one. Number 2 is to read. Yes, read. That is a book that you hold in your hand that has pages. And if that's not your thing, guys, I'll cut you some slack and use your Kindle, your iPad, your phone, and maybe do an e-reader. All right, guys, and if that's still not your thing, listen to audiobooks. So I believe that should be your last resort, but if that's what you need to do to get started on it, go ahead. Use an e-reader, or a key reader, or audiobook. The fact is, just read. Now, guys, I know many of you may not love this, but why do you need to read? Well, it opens up your mind to new thoughts, new ideas, new perspectives, and you just learn something. Start with a few pages a day. I know for many of you probably haven't read since high school. I get it. Not everybody loves to read like I do. But again, 5 to 10 pages a day should take you 15 or 20 minutes. The reason I say use a hardcover, actual tangible book is you can make notes in the side. You can highlight things that you found important, and come back to that later. That's why I believe in hardcover books. Again, if that's not your thing, it's okay. But again, the main thing is to get new and different perspectives into your brain each day. And I recommend you, again, do it in the first thing in the morning or maybe at night, possibly both, like I do. Read a few pages here and there. All right, guys, and I'll add this caveat before we move on. If you need to start with Harry Potter, so be it. But guys, please progress to preferably sort of nonfiction books or books that will, sort of teach you something. Biographies are great. Any type of nonfiction. Now, maybe before bed, go back to your fiction, something that interests you to sort of relax your mind before going to bed. But again, not all of your reading can be sort of superfluous fluff reading. We need to have some depth to it. All right, guys, enough on that. Let's get on to number 3. So I am not wanting to believe in woo-woo, occult, magic crystals, and sort of puffs of smoke. But I do believe that you need to either meditate, pray, or think, or some sort of mixture of that every single day. Pick one, pick them all. Whatever is best for you. The core idea is you need to calm your mind and sort of recenter your thoughts, refocus. And again, if that's through prayer, meditation, or just simply sitting in quiet for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is, you need to sort of calm your brain. We have so many inputs, guys, that come in. Social media, the news, television, sports, outside people, work. We have so much shit coming in, guys. We have to sort of filter that out and do a brain dump. Think of it as sort of a delete button on all the junk that's been coming into your brain, all the garbage, taking out the trash, if you will. Again, guys, like reading, maybe do this first thing in the morning or at night, possibly both. It doesn't need to be for a long time, guys. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, even 5 minutes. And one I used to do when I worked my 9 to 5, because I dealt with so much nonsense and so many fools, I would do one during lunch. Go back in my after lunch maybe and shut my office door and take 5 minutes. Just close my eyes and sort of reset before I tackled the afternoon. Guys, doing this gets your brain back to sort of baseline. I guess it's homeostasis. But it works wonders. I myself prefer the meditation and thinking. I really enjoy it. Again, meditation is a practice. Not every day is perfect. But again, do something, guys, to calm your mind. With so much stimulus going on in the world, we need to calm our minds. All right, guys, number 4 here. So you can do it, think of it a couple of ways. Journal, write, or just call it a brain dump. All right, so to be clear here, guys, off the get-go, you do not need to be Leo Tolstoy. You do not need to write an epic novel or even having correct spelling and grammar, punctuation. Nobody gives a shit. This is for you. Don't fret over the small things, guys. Again, keep it very simple. And just like all the other habits, you can do this either at night, in the morning, or both. Really doesn't matter when you do it. The key is to get your thoughts on paper. Now, I recommend a small journal, and I don't have mine in front of me here, but just a small journal, small notebook, notepad, doesn't really matter. I do believe that you should write this stuff out, not type it out on the computer. Just something different about taking the time to write it out. So what do we put here? Well, whatever pops in your head. Big ideas, grand ideas, great idea. Guys, a lot of times this happens, you had a great idea on whatever, fix your finances, fix the car, the next business you're going to start, but you forget about it. Write that shit down. It's important. Gratitudes, just shit you're thankful for, guys. You don't have to dig too deeply. I got a roof over my head. I had enough to eat today. I'm safe. I'm healthy. Be thankful for the small things. In this world of just BS, revert back to the small things. Again, your thoughts, guys, your failures, your victories, all of it. The next step then is just occasionally review these. I'll usually go maybe once a week, once a month, and see, what the patterns are, both good and bad, guys. And then try and sort of tweak that. If I'm doing something consistently that's sort of detrimental or not helping me, well, then I have to figure a way to figure that out, to get rid of that and eliminate that behavior. Same, again, is on the good, guys. If I'm doing something well and it's working, okay, how do I sort of maximize that? How do I double down on that? Again, guys, there's no rules here. As the digital underground so eloquently said, and if you know who they are, you're old like me, simply do what you like. All right, guys, and on to the last one here. Number 5, maintain relationships. Now, I say this almost with a smirk on my face, sort of tongue in cheek. Most people who know me know I really don't like people all that much or being around people. I don't really believe so much in labels, but if I was to sort of label myself, I would be kind of an introvert. You probably wouldn't know that if you'd met me. I worked in sales. That's kind of an odd career for an introvert. But I could still get through these things, but it was a very much a drain on me. If I went to a party or had a lot of sales calls or just meeting a bunch of people, my brain was fried and I had to go home and sort of detox from it. So again, but maintaining relationships is important, guys. Even for somebody who prefers, like me, prefers, if I can spit that word, solitude and silence over people. That's even people close to me, guys, to be honest with you. But we're humans, and humans are social animals, okay? And to that end, we have to interact with other people, even when we really don't want to sometimes, guys. So what does that mean? Well, call a friend you haven't talked to in a while. Just grab your phone, call them up. It's amazing how this is. I've done this. I've been in Panama here, and there's some of the people I work with, the few that I actually liked, and I still speak to them. And it's refreshing just to hear where they're at and listen to them. Don't do all the talking. Ask them, how's their life going? What's going on in their lives? Same thing, call your mom, call your dad if they're still around. That's important, guys. They're not going to be there forever. And then sit down maybe with your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, your partner. Yes, I absolutely fucking loathe that word. And talk about something of substance. Yeah, we have these sort of superficial, superfluous conversations. Maybe once a day, talk with the person that you're involved with, just on something deep. Couple minutes, just, talk about it. Again, you might learn something. You might get a new perspective, an alternate viewpoint, maybe a helpful fact, whatever it is. You just need to learn something new. And if the people you talk to can't provide any substance, guys, you might want to review your peer group. Just saying. All right, so the takeaway here, guys, get some social interaction. And no, Facebook, IG chats, sort of video chats or any of these online friends, that doesn't count, guys. You have to talk to a person here. Trust me, I know it can be difficult. So, guys, there are probably some other things I missed, but the core idea here is your non-negotiables should be a short list. They should be things that you can do every day and that you do, I just said do, every single day. There is no wavering on these, guys. And again, mine may not be exactly the same as yours. Make your list yours. Don't do something because some guy on the internet did it. He jumped out of a van and started running after he had dunked his face in ice and did push-ups. That's dumb. That's dumb, guys. Don't do that shit. So take some time today and write down your non-negotiables. And if you caught that, that's number 4, writing things down. But write down your core non-negotiables and then institute these into your life immediately, starting, tomorrow morning. Guys, remember, what's the best way to deal with those terrorists? You got to stop them in their tracks. You need to terminate them. There's simply no room for negotiation. All right, guys, do me a favor. If you found this video valuable, do me a favor, click the like, subscribe, notifications. I'm pretty new at this yet, so I got to remember to tell you guys this stuff. Again, if you like the content, do me a favor, pass it on. I'm trying to sort of grow the channel, get ideas. So any little bit of feedback helps. Appreciate you guys. See you in the next one.